Good morning, and welcome to Spartan Spotlight, where we bring you all things regarding AU athletics. I'm Robert Ziklinski. Today, we will be joined by women's soccer coach Troy Edwards, who has become a top coach in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference year after year. He has led the Spartans as they blaze their way to reach the NAC Tournament Championship this past season. We'll get down to his success as a coach, and most importantly, talk about the outstanding things his women's soccer team has accomplished this season and in the past. We're very excited to have him on today, and he joins us here today. Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Coach, you started your career at the high school level. Since then, you've coached at the youth level and now obviously at the collegiate level here at AU. Was transitioning to different programs difficult, and how so?
I don't think it was difficult. I think part of the transition was really finding the age level that I felt I was best at working with. And so, high school gave me a chance to really just get started into coaching. And then, working with the youth gave me a chance to really get into player development. And then ultimately, as I started to get into working at the college level, I realized that that is where I think I'm best as a coach, and working with that level of player and all the things that go on off the field that I can work with them as well.
What kinds of things off the field that you can talk about?
I mean, when you look at helping the student athletes grow academically, just becoming, working with the girls on just growing as young women, really challenging them to, just develop their character and their service in the community, and, really helping them to become the, better people when they leave than when they came. Yeah.
What parallels in the philosophy of the game are there between all of the different levels that you've seen in your experiences?
I mean, I think you train a lot of the players very similarly. And so, I mean, in soccer is a basic game. You try to score more goals than the other team. And
Fair
so,
enough.
I mean, it doesn't change too much. The thing that changes from high school, youth, college is the athleticism and the pace and the strength. And so, the technical aspect of it, the skill, those things, are pretty similar, but it's just you're working with different type of athletes as you move up the ladder.
You've coached women and men. Is there a difference in how you approach coaching either gender?
For me, there isn't. I know for some people there is. I've always been somewhat of a relational coach, and so
a player's coach, right?
A player's coach, yeah, to where really understanding who my players are, building those relationships with them, so that I can get a much better understanding of how to really push them to get the most out of their abilities, and you can do that with men and women, and so many females nowadays have been coached by men their whole life, that they're used to kind of being in a similar environment than I think our men's players are growing up, and so I don't think you necessarily have to coach them differently, but I think that the relational aspect that we try to bring to our program, I believe, is beneficial for whether I was coaching men or women.
It's just about pushing everybody regardless.
Correct. Yeah.
In 2002, you moved to Vancouver in British Columbia in Canada, and you were the director of the Ireland Ministry, head trainer for the soccer project. This is really extensive. The under-21 men's coach, and the lead assistant with Trinity Western University, where you helped lead them to their first ever Canada West title and a #2 national ranking. So really not that impressive, right? As best as you can you explain that experience?
I'll tell you, my 2 years that I spent up there were probably the most influential in my entire just experience as far as getting to where I wanted to become as a coach and the experience. And so I essentially was doing sport ministry work up in Canada, and it gave me a chance to really learn how to not only work with and train real high-level players, but also working with building them as people. And the opportunities that I had working with the players there, being able to lead teams overseas, and taking groups of college students over to Ireland for weeks at a time, and working with them to really mold and grow and bond together as a team. It prepared me probably more than any other thing I had done for my first head coaching experience.
Great. You started here at AU in 2012, and since then you've tallied a 39-4 conference record, going 68-15-4 overall. So that's, again, really not that impressive, right? Not to mention getting first place honors in the conference 3 consecutive years. What can you contribute to the success you've had here, and how has the program evolved in your time?
I think I came into a good situation. It was a good established program. My previous experiences were me trying to build a program. And so being able to come here where the program had already been built and established was certainly beneficial to me. And then what I really tried to do when I came on board was push us to levels that we had never been. And so, we did some tinkering with things as far as how we played, how we trained, some of the things that we do, in the off season and such, just to help our players take that next step. And I think our results, during my time here is
speak for themselves.
Yeah, they speak for themselves. I mean, we, have beat the best teams in our area that we never had before. And so, part of that is, like I said, we had a good established program, and then really trying to take that next step.
Finally, really quickly, Coach, how do you see the future of AU women's soccer in any perspective?
I'm excited, and we have a very young team right now, and so I believe that the experiences that they've gained this year and last year will really propel us over the next couple years to continue to play at a high standard and continue to bring in top quality student athletes.
As long as you're winning, it's always fun too, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Coach. Really great having you on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Shout out to women's bowling, who takes on Western Illinois University Saturday. Go get 'em. Cross country also takes it to Augustana University this Saturday, so good luck to both the women and men's teams. Thanks to Coach Troy Edwards for coming on the show, and that's all the time we have here today in Spartan Spotlight. Join us next time, and be great today, Spartans.